One of the benefits of no code is that you have a wide variety of softwares to choose to help you solve your specific problems. The downside, though, is that you can quickly get decision overwhelm when trying to find what's the best software for you. So in this video, I wanted to give you some practical tips to help determine what is the best software for you. So if you are looking to automate your own decision fatigue, then you've come to the right place. Let's get to it. Solutions. If you're new here, I help save people time by automating the work that they hate by using AI and no-code based solutions. And in this video, I'm going to be comparing SmartSuite and Make.com to help walk you through how to determine what is the best tool for your specific needs. Let's go ahead and dive right in, and I want to be clear about the specific question that we're looking to answer in this. That is, how do you find the correct automation software based on the specific job at hand? So many no-code tools can do the exact same things, and some of them can do them a little better. Some of them can do them more straightforward. So before we get into the specifics of the tools that we're going to be using, I want to give you two rules that I always try and keep in mind when building automations. The first is that my golden rule basically is that the automation should actively reduce the number of steps that it takes you to complete a specific task. If it takes more work, then that automation really isn't worth it. But the other thing that nobody I see really talking about is the importance of having upkeep and maintenance with your automation. So automations aren't necessarily just set and forget tools that you can just have running in the background. They are like standard operating procedures in that they're living processes inside of your business. These things are always going to change. And so it's important that you make sure that you're able to actively update them and edit them as your business changes and grows. So the second rule is similar to the first, but I must be able to quickly pull up the automations that I am working with for this particular process, and I need to be able to edit them quickly and efficiently. So in this case, automating the email processes through the sales in a pipeline definitely meets goal number one, in that if it takes me multiple steps to go write an email every single time someone is in a new phase of my pipeline, then absolutely automating these emails is going to be a lot easier overall, and basically take that down to one step instead of having to go open up a Gmail account and then open up a new composition, paste the email address in, and then write the email itself. But the main question that we're probably going to be looking at here is, what is the update method, or what is the least amount of steps it will take to update this process? So let's take a look at SmartSuite here, and you see that I have basically 4 different phases that I'm going to be sending people through the sales pipeline. I would create them in the qualifying stage, and I would want to send out an email just inviting them to join a meeting. Once they join that meeting, we want to move them to the appointment category and maybe send some additional info about what we're looking to accomplish or how to help them prepare for the meeting. The next step would be an automated document to say, hey, here is your invoice, here is your contract, just sign this, but let me know if you have any questions. And then once those documents are signed, it moves to commitment, which would basically be the start of working as a client. So we want to send an email that says, hey, thanks for signing. Let's set up a new kickoff meeting so we can get work properly started. We have 2 different ways to automate these services. Using SmartSuite with their built-in email notification automations, or we may want to set something up in Make. The question is, which one do we want to use? Now, just to be clear, even though I am talking about Make and SmartSuite, I'm going to choose one for this particular instance. That is not indicative of saying that one is better than the other. This is just a specific use case, again, that works best for me. So back to comparing the two, SmartSuite is initially a no-code database software. It has automation functionality, And that means that it's great for having all of your tools in one place and not really having to leave and to go into different softwares. Make, however, specializes in workflow automations. So that means that it is designed to send this information between systems so you can create better, easier to manage workflows than you may be able to use in SmartSuite. But let's just compare the specifics on the softwares we're looking at. SmartSuite, like I said, it's just one software. Total cost for it per month is about $10, which is pretty manageable for most businesses. And again, because you can natively send information, emails natively through Gmail and Outlook, that means that it's pretty easy just to have everything all in one place. So if your organization skills want you to have everything in one place instead of having to open up a different software, this may be of benefit to you. But on the other hand, Make connects with hundreds of different other softwares. So if you have email automation set up in something like ActiveCampaign, you could connect the two between these different softwares. The downside, though, to some is that it does require, or Make itself is meant to connect softwares. You can't really store the information inside of Make. So it would require having something like SmartSuite that allows you to store that info to send emails. That also means that there's an additional cost. And in this case, it's about an additional $10 a month. To some people, that may not be a lot of money, but every little bit that keeps adding up can be frustrating, and that may be a deal breaker for you. Keep in mind that both of these tools have great free software, so you can try that out, and if it works for you, then that may be the time to consider what is worth your investment. So at a quick glance, we can see that SmartSuite, it's just one software here, and it only costs $10 a month, so that is really great for having a good, cheap option. But then because it already sends emails through Outlook and Gmail natively, that doesn't require you to have to pay for an additional service. Everything can be done in this one system. And if that helps you stay organized in having one particular tool, this may be it. Make, on the other hand, it is specialized as an automation workflow tool, meaning that it connects to hundreds of different softwares and has some more advanced features to tailor specific email formats that you may want to have in your business. The downside with this, though, is that it's not a database system already, so it would require already using something like SmartSuite, and that just adds an additional cost to your bottom line per month. So instead of just the $10 a month, it would actually be somewhere closer to $20. So to some people, that may be a deal breaker, and to others, it may not be, and that's okay. But the main thing that I want to point out was really just at first glance, both of these softwares seem pretty good, but SmartSuite looks like it's a done deal, so we can just wrap up this video easily, right? Well, it's not always that simple. So if I were to build this automation inside of Make, I'd have to go to the automation section. I've gone ahead and pre-built most of these, but I kind of want to emphasize this point here that I have the add automation, and then I can set the specific conditions for this. I will want to title this a specific way to make sure that I can make sure that this is helped organize and clear. But I can basically set a status condition for whenever a pipeline phase is equal to qualifying, I can then send a specific email here. And again, you see this only takes a few clicks to get this ready, where I have send the email, I have to connect to the Google account that I have, and then I can send the specific email that I want, add a subject and a message. So give me a second and I'll paste this all in and we can take a look at it. Let's take a look at this in action, and you'll see that this works perfectly well. The main thing here is that I just need to put in a name. I'm going to actually put in a specific first name, and then we're going to put in Eric at solvedcyclesolutions.com. Once I submit this information, I can quickly head over to my inbox and see that I've got this email pulled up. Now, if I drag this over to appointment, this is going to notify the system to send out the next email in the pipeline. And then from there, I can hit make offer. And then I can also drag that over to commitment. Now, I'm doing this quickly to show that this is all working, and I'm going to give it a minute to pull these up in my inbox. But the main thing that this can be a bit problematic is if I see that there's an error or if something changes in the future. For me, I go into the automation section. I don't have the ability to edit all of these emails at once or map the information and have them in one specific automation. Instead, I have to create 4 different automations themselves for this particular workflow. And that's because SmartSuite only uses what's called single path automations. So each of these automations are constantly in one lane and they cannot work or set conditional mapping or conditional flows. So in this case, me having to go open up one specific automation, make the change, and then close that to open up another one, that's actually causing me more work. And I know in my personal experience, that particular kind of work is going to make me more resistant to want to update and change these automations in the future, or it may also increase the likelihood that I would forget or miss one of these automations that could be sending out incorrect information in the future if I make changes to it. But over inside of make.com, I can do this exact same automation all in one place that makes it a little bit easier for me to look at and make all the necessary changes I have at once. So here, I had to do a little bit more setup where I have to set up a mail hook from SmartSuite to go into any of these statuses are made. It's going to fire out here. It's going to pull up the specific record, and then from there, we can map the specific details that we need for sending out these emails as well. So you can see here, there's a lot of extra code that I'm able to just paste in, but that's my email signature, which I'll put a link in the description, probably a card up here that shows the specifics of how to format these emails properly and to look more business professional inside of make.com. And you can see that I basically was able to open this up quickly. I can find the exact things I want to make changes to, and I can do that for each of these particular emails. So it allows me to be more organized here compared to how things were set up in SmartSuite. Let's go ahead and turn this on, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new record here. It's going to be almost the exact same thing. I'm just going to put Eric, no name, put again Eric, and put in my exact same email address here. And then all I have to do is hit save. I've gone ahead and just turned off all the other automations just to make sure I'm not overwhelming my inbox, but you can see here that sometimes if you have the same automations running, that can actually confuse the system. So let's take a look here and see if that fired off the particular email that we're looking for. So you can see here that this automation was able to map to the initial onboarding invitation meeting. Now this has been running properly. Let's take a look at the emails. So this is the one that was sent through SmartSuite. Again, I've emphasized in another video how you can add customized email footers at the end of these, but the SmartSuite one is pretty basic. I can't change the name here. It just shows Eric at Solve Cycle Solutions. But if I go into the one sent out in Make, you can see I have my custom signature here, and we can play around with the actual name title here. I didn't do that in this case, but the point is that you can have a bit more customization with something that specializes in communicating between these softwares versus using just a one tool system like SmartSuite. So in terms of when to use these specific softwares, this isn't, yes, there's obviously a bit of, you have to choose what's best for you, but in terms of the practical information, using something like SmartSuite that has automation features it really is better to use it for simple, straightforward automations. Because it uses the single workflow option, at least at this time. That may change in the future, but I don't know. If you're using this as a simple automation that is straightforward or has a series of steps can be easily followed, this is great to use. But if you have multiple conditional phases of the automation that may have to flow based on dynamic data, then using something like Make can be a bit easier to manage everything in one place versus having to use it with SmartSuite. So that in a nutshell is how to differentiate between the specific softwares for something that has automation features or is a workflow automation program. I hope you got a ton of value and found practical steps that you can take to figuring out what's better for your business. If you have specific questions or would like to get a little bit more understanding of how to figure out what's better for your particular solution, feel free to book a free 30-minute consultation with me. Either head to the link in the description of this video or scan the QR code around my head, and we can get you automated in as little as 30 minutes. So feel free to do that. That is completely free, no strings attached. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, general questions, or if you have any feedback about these videos, please feel free to drop them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, as this does help our channel grow. And yeah, that's everything I have to say on this topic. So this is where I stop.